Hello children, welcome back to the paper discussion. This is January monthly test paper 2022. Hope all of you have watched the previous video and I discussed all the questions in part 1 and this is for part 2, right? And you know in part 2 you want to write the answers in the line papers and you are not allowed to write the answers in the paper itself. Therefore, I took the paper into a separate PDF document and as we need to have more space to do all the workings. So this is part 2, question number 1. Here they have given us a detail about the population in a country. It is 20 million, right? We'll see that what are the questions we want to answer out of the details that we have. If 25% of the population is children between 0 to 14 years, find the number of children in the country. Now you just see the total population is 20%, right? So then 20 million and 25% of the population, right? This is how you want to write it, of the population, right? So then you can write this 25%, 25% per 100 of means multiplication, the population. What is the population in the country, children? It is 20 million. You write it like this. Okay. So then you can cancel 2 zeros like this, right? Then you have 25 multiplied by 200,000, right? So then what will be the answer? 200,000 you multiply by 25. So then what you can do that you know that 25 when you multiply by 2, it is 50, right? And how many zeros should be there? 5 zeros. So then altogether it is 6 zeros. So then the answer is this. 5 million children. There are 5 million children in the country, right? The total population 20 million and 25% of the population that is children, right? So that means 5 million children we can find in that particular country, right? So then we'll move to the next question, children. So then if 67% of the population is people between 15 to 64, find the number of people in that group. Again, you want to do the same thing, children, right? 67% of the population, right? 67% of the population, right? So then you write 67% per 100 of the population, that is 20 million, right? Again, you can simplify it like this. Then what happened? 67 multiplied by 200,000, right? So then 67 you multiply by 2. What is the answer? 134. So then how many zeros should be there? 5 zeros. So then you write 13,400,000, right? 13,400,000. When you multiply to 200,000, we have 200,000 and you want to multiply it by 67. So then it gives me 13,400,000. So the number of people in that age group. What's that age group, children? 15 to 64, right? So then the third question you have, rest is above 65. Find the percentage of people above 65. Now you want to understand that children, how many, that what's the percentage? Children. So children, it is 25%, right? And 15 to 64 age, what's the percentage? Can you remember? It is 67, right? When you add them together, what is the answer? 92, right? So then how to calculate this is part A. I'm doing part A, children. How to calculate the senior citizens, right? That the above 65, how do you find that 100 minus 92? So that is 8%, right? Above 65, that you can find 8% of people. Then find the number of people. So then here that you can find part B, 8% of the population, right? 8% of the population. So then you write 8 over 100 multiplied by 20 million. You can simplify 2 zeros. Then when you multiply 200,000 by 8, what will be the answer? It is 1.6 million or 1,600,000. Children, if you want to cross-check whether your answer is correct, you can do something like this. That the kids we had 5 million, right? And the middle age that people we had 13,400,000, and here we have 1,600,000. You just add them. What will happen? Yes, it gives me 20 million. Understand? That means my answer is correct, right? You can cross-check whether your answers are correct or not, like that. So then part C, what they have asked, if 40% out of above 65 age group got the COVID vaccine, find the number of people who got the vaccine. Now, part C, children, you want to understand. By any chance that if you got a wrong answer for part B, definitely your part C also will be wrong, because that you want to find the correct number of people in the 65 age group, right? So here, 40% of above 65 age group had the vaccine, right? Had the vaccine, right? How do you find this? So then write 40 over 100 multiplied by 1,600,000, right? So then you can cancel like this. So then you have 40 multiplied by 16,000, right? So then how many people? 16,000. You multiply by 40, it gives you 640,000, right? First of all, you want to calculate that we know that the 25% children are there, and 67% that the middle age, 15 to 64 people are there. When you add them together, the answer will be 92%. So then the remaining will be the senior citizens or the people who are above 65. How do you calculate it, children? So then it is 65, 92, you want to deduct from 100. Then it gives you 8%. Now, 8% is the percentage of the senior citizens or the people who are above 65. Then 8% of the total population. So then how do you find 8% of 20 million? It gives me 1,600,000. So then out of these people, 40, they have got 40%, they have got the COVID vaccine. So then how find the number of people who got the vaccine? 40% of 1,600,000. When you simplify, it is 640,000. So then the whole question, it is from the percentage lesson, right? So then if you can do the calculation correctly, so then this is a very easy question, children. So we'll move to question number 2. Question number 2, it is from the area and perimeter. Find the area of this figure. Children, can you see that this is a trapezium? That is true, right? But you want to divide this figure into a rectangle and a triangle. right? That means you want to consider this as a compound figure. Don't consider this as a trapezium. That if you consider this as a trapezium and using the area formula for trapezium, yes, you can find the area. That is true. But that here they have given us the instructions, children. You want to divide this compound figure into two parts, a rectangle and a triangle. See what I am doing here? That I will segregate it like this, right? You can use your ruler and draw the dotted line like this. Yes, and this is the 90 degree. Okay. From here to here, that if I draw it like this, from here to here, it is 8 centimeters, right? That means this should be 6 centimeters. Understand? Right. So then here 6 centimeters, therefore, this one also should be 6 centimeters. And I mark this as number 1 and this as number 2. Right? I segregated them separately. Then you can find area of 1. Right? What it is? It is a rectangle. See that how I am writing the answer, children. So then how do you do this? Length into width. Right? Length into width. Right? So then the length here, it is 8 centimeters. And what is the width? 6 centimeters. So then the answer is 48 centimeters squared, and I mark it as number 1. Right? Then I find area of 2. Right? Area of 2. And inside the bracket I write it is a triangle. Right? How to find the area of the triangle? Half into base into perpendicular height. Okay. So then here I will consider this as the base. Okay. And this will be my perpendicular height. You can see the 90 degree here. Therefore, so then the 6 centimeter, that vertical line will be the perpendicular height. Then I substitute the values, children, half, right? Then the base is 6 centimeters and the perpendicular height is 6 centimeters, right? So then you can simplify 2 times 1 and 2 times 3. 3 times 6 is 18 centimeters squared. So this is number 2, right? Then you want to find the area of the given figure. Area of A, B, C, D, trapezium, right? How do you do this? You want to add 1 and 2 together. Then here you write 48 centimeters squared plus 18 centimeters squared. So then when you add them together, 48 and 18, it gives me 66 centimeters squared. That is the area of this figure, right? They have given us the, when you look at this figure, that you can understand this is a trapezium, right? When you go to grade 8, you will learn that how to find the area of the trapezium. Therefore, that you don't know the formula for that. Therefore, they have asked you to segregate this given figure into two parts, a rectangle and a triangle. And I numbered them 1 and 2. And see, children, that you can see, wait, I will make it smaller. That can you see my answer, that how I have written it? Look at the equation marks, the way I have used the units, see everything, right? And you want to improve the neatness in your answer script, right? That I am just writing on a blank paper, right? Using my the pen. But when you are doing it in the paper itself, you have the lines, right? That you can do it more, that you can do it in a more that the neat way, that or else that the nicer way. Okay, so you want to improve these things when you are practicing the past papers, right? We'll move to the next part, children. That is x, y, z. It's a triangle and you want to find the perpendicular height. I will give you that the background theory for this, how to find the area of a triangle, it is half into base into perpendicular height, right? Let's say they have given us the area, right? They have given us the area and they have given us the base value, right? Okay, base value is possible, available. And the perpendicular height they have not given. Therefore, you want to find the perpendicular height. That means you want to keep perpendicular height along and send that half and base to the other side. What happens when you send that half to the other side? It becomes multiplication to 2 times area divided by the base. Right? First of all, you want to rearrange the formula to get the perpendicular height value, that you just see what are the information available for me and what is the missing figure. That here I can understand perpendicular height is missing. So then I want to keep perpendicular height value along. So then I rearrange the formula, that is 2 times area divided by base. Then I can substitute the values, children. 2 times 100 centimeter squared. See how I am writing centimeter squared also. Then because I can cancel the units, then here it becomes 40 centimeter, because this will be the base, right? And this will be the perpendicular height. Okay. So then the centimeter and centimeter you can cancel. So then 2 times 1 and 2 times 20. 20 times 1 and 20 times 5. So then what will be your answer? 5 centimeters. Right? So then the 5 centimeter will be the base value. Sorry, the perpendicular height value. Right? Then the perpendicular height will be 5 centimeters. That is done. Right. So then we'll move to the question number 3. The diagram shows a piece of land. Again, it is a compound shape, right? You can see a rectangle and a semicircle. It consists of a rectangular shape and a semicircular shape. So then here, if this is 140, this will also become 140 meters, right? This become 200 meters, right? So then here, the radius will be, the R will be 70 meters, right? The radius will be, I will take it. Then the radius will be 70 meters. Why is that? Then 140 will be the 140 meters will be the diameter of that circular part, right? Then how to get the radius value? You want to get the half of that. That becomes 70 meters, right? That first I will write all these things. Then I'll go to the question. Find the area of the rectangular shape. So then you write area is equal to length into width, right? So then it is 200 meters into 140 meters, right? So then what you can do, that 140 you multiply by 200, see what happened, that you have, right? So then you get the answer. 140 you multiply by 200, it is 28,000. So then the answer will be 28,000 meter square. Right? So then find the area of the semicircular part. Children, you want to keep that in your mind, that the full circle, how do you find the area? Full circle, tell me. Full circle area is equal to 5r squared. What does that mean? 5 times r times r, right? So then the semicircle, how do you do this? Semicircle, right? The area will be 5r squared divided by 2, right? Or else you can write this as 5r squared divided by 2. You can do it like this, that later you will realize why teacher wrote it with the division sign, right? Now here, what is the phi value? They have given the phi value. It is 22/7. And what is the radius value here, children? It is 70 meters. Earlier we calculated it. Now see what I am doing. That 5 means 22/7 multiplied by 70 multiplied by 70. That whole thing I want to divide it by 2. We'll see what happens. 7 times 1 and 7 times 10. Right? Then what we have? 22 multiplied by 700. And that whole thing you divide by 2. Now see what happened. 2 times 1 and 2 times 11. Then 11 you multiply by 700. It gives me 7,700 meters squared. Right? 7,700 meter, 7,700 meters square will be the answer. Right? So then we will move to the next question. Find the total area. How to find the total area, children? So then total area, you can write total area, right? Area of the rectangle and area of the semicircle. Area of the semicircle. So what is the area of the rectangle? It is 28,000, right? Then you write here 28,000 meters squared. See, always I use the units, children, right? And the semicircle, it is 7,700 meters squared. So then when you add them together, you get the answer 35,700 meters squared, right? So then how do you do this? 28,000 and 7,700, right? Like this. Okay. So then this becomes 35,700. That's the total area. We'll see. To level the above land, it cost 0.1 sterling pounds per meter square. Find the cost of leveling the above land, right? So to level, you want to understand, see 1 meter squared, right? What is the cost you want to bear? That is 0.1 sterling pound. How many squares we do have, that the square meters we do have? It is 35,700 meters squared. So then how do you get this? It is 0.1. You multiply by 35,700, right? So when you multiply this value, 35,700 by 0.1, what will be the answer, children? It is 3,570 sterling pound. This is the answer. If you find out how teacher got that answer, you just imagine, children, 35,700 you multiply by 1. What will be the answer? That 35,700 you multiply by 1. What will be the answer? Answer is 35,700. But you want to keep one decimal place because in the question you can find one decimal place, right? So then the answer will be 3,570. Then we want to find the perimeter of the land. Children, how to find the perimeter of the land, right? For that, you want to understand perimeter is the outer boundary, right? How we are going to get the outer boundary? You just see that the red color line, that you go like this, the straight edge. Then you have that the circular edge like this. Yes. Then again you have the straight edge, right? Then you go up. Okay. Again, you have come back to the initial position, right? So then you have taken this 200 length, this 200 length, and 140, and this circular part, right? This will take it as X, right? So then how to find the perimeter of this shape? So this is how you can write it, children. See that the perimeter, I can write perimeter of the land. So then the length of the straight edges, right? And then the length of what? Length of the curve edge, right? Curve edge, right? So then what are the straight edges? 200. If you can't remember, we'll look at the image again. So that is 200, 200, 140, right? First we'll add them. 200 plus 200 plus 140. You add all these together, and the curve edge, the length, it is X, right? So then we'll see that what is the value you get for this. 200 and 200, it is 400, and 400 when and 140 when you add, it becomes 540 meters. Now we'll see how we can calculate the X value, right? The X is what? The semicircle, right? This is a semicircle, right? Tell me, children, that the full circle perimeter, how do you find? Full circle perimeter, how do you find? What is the formula? 2, 5, R. Now, semicircle, full circle, it is 2, 5, R, right? Then the semicircle will be 2, 5, R divided by 2. So then 2 and 2 cancel. So then the semicircle calculation will be 5R, right? So then the 5 is 22 over 7 and R is 70. 7 times 1 and 7 times 10. So then this become 220 meters. So then here that the X will be 220 meters, right? So then when you add them together, what will be the answer? If need, you can use the working column part, that 540 and 220, you add them together. So it gives me that you have 5R. 5R means that 22 over 7, and you want to multiply this by 70. So that is 220. For 220, you want to add 540. It gives me 760. Answer is 760 meters. Okay, then we'll move to the next part. Find the length of the wire needed to fence 3 times, right? Children, so this 760, so you just look at the red color line, right? So this is what I started from this corner. Can you remember? I started from this corner and I went along the red color line and I came back to this blue color point, right? So that means this is the perimeter of this land and I went only one round. But you are going to have a fence and you want to have a strong fence here. And how many times you are going to have it? 3 times, right? Now you want to find the length of the wire you need for that. You write that 760, that the one time, right? So we'll take it that one time. It is 760 meters. So then when you want to have 3 times, how do you find 760 multiplied by 3, right? So then 760, you multiply by 3, right? So then it becomes 2280, right? 2280 is the answer. So then you want to find the length of the wire, 2280 meters. That is done. They are asking the length of the wire, right? So then they have given, if the wires are sold in 1000 meters roll, how many rolls do you need to purchase? Now that we do have, children, keep this in your mind that they have given it in a tricky way, right? That you need to have 2280 meters of wire to have the strong fence with the 3 times you want to go, right? 2280. That one roll will be 1000 meters. So then how many rolls you want to buy? Now here it's obvious, children, that one roll it is 1000, right? Then the second roll when you purchase, that is 2000. They won't give you that the part of the roll that here that they have not mentioned, right? But we'll assume that you can't have the part of the roll if the wires are sold in tire. Yes, here that they have mentioned it, no, always they sell it like this, right? Sold in 1000 meters roll. Therefore, you want to have 3 rolls. Why is that? 3 rolls means 3000 meters. So yes, we can fulfill our requirement. If I take that the 2 rolls, what happened, children? Then I have only 2000 meters. So then I cannot fulfill my requirement with 2 rolls. Therefore, I want to purchase 3 rolls. That if it is possible, that's better. 2 rolls and the latter part 280 meters, if you can purchase separately, that is that cost effective, right? That you don't want to spend that much. But here they have given us a condition. They are selling them in 1000 meters roll. Therefore, you want to buy 3 rolls to fulfill your requirement. Okay, children. So that is all about the part 2 of your 2022 January monthly test paper. Children, now you just look at this, how teacher wrote the answers. You just see, right, that how I showed the workings and how I showed the steps, right? Always I wrote everything, right? Then whoever the person who is marking my paper, that he or she can understand what I have done. All the workings and the description are there, that my answers are comprehensive. See, especially this question number 2, that how I have brought the answer, then the neatness, right? And you also can mark everything in the diagram like I have done. It doesn't matter, right? But the problem here is that you are doing it in another paper. In that case, you can mark all of your, that whatever the information here I have marked in the paper itself, even though you are not allowed to write the answers in the paper itself, you can have a note like this, that you can take the mark the perpendicular height, base, and you can mark 1 and 2, or else if time permits, you can quickly draw this diagram. So these are not the complicated one, then you can draw this. Okay, children, so that is the end of the part 2. Now you have all the answers for 2022 January monthly test paper, part 1 and part 2. One more thing before winding up the session. Now, next week, you will be having your January monthly test. So then you can take 2 to 3 days rest. Thereafter, you have to work hard. Why is that? After another 2 months' time, you will be having your semester exam. Why I wanted to remind this, so the semester exam, so this paper structure will be totally different. what you had in grade 6, it's totally different in grade 7 onwards for your semester exams, right? Grade 7 onwards for semester exams, children, you will be having paper 1 and paper 2. That means you want to have the better preparation for them. And you have 2 months to cover 6 months content. Why? September, October, November, January, February, March. All these 6 months will be tested with your semester exam paper. Therefore, have a proper plan for your studies and revise everything from September onwards. And if you have anything to clarify you with related to this paper, you can comment on the video itself. I will clarify your doubts before the exam. And also, if you have any doubts that related to whatever the content, especially for the semester exam, please feel free to contact me and I will help you how to face to the semester exam well, right? By any chance that if I have the time, I will bring the past papers for the semester exam from February onwards. If not, definitely I will meet you again by 5th of March or 10th of March. Okay, children, do your exams well. I wish you a good luck for your exams. So we'll meet again for the semester exams, March semester exam. Till then, stay safe. Bye, children.